Hi, my name is ALYSSA binti Waruzaki.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Uzair bin Wafizal.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is aqilah balqis binti Azhar.
Assalamualaikum and greetings everyone. My name is haiqal bin Shah and we are from group note taking EV101.
Note taking is the practice of recording information from different sources and platforms. By taking notes, the writer records the essence of the information, freeing their mind from having to recall everything. Not only this, but effective note-taking will likely continue to be useful. Effective note-taking can help bolster your ability to process information and help you track vitally important tasks and deadlines with accuracy. The importance on note-taking. Firstly, it triggers basic lecturing processes and helps you to remember information. Proper note-taking can be useful for processing information, which is key to understanding and remembering it. Next, it helps you to concentrate in class. Taking notes in class can help you stay focused in what could be a distracting environment. Not only this, but taking notes engage more parts of your brain, requiring you to begin processing and remembering what you are hearing. You can think much faster than someone else can speak. If you are passively listening, you have a better chance of having your mind wander off into daydreaming. Next, it also helps you to get there for tests. In my experience in school, I usually was better prepared for tests by studying my notes from class than from studying directly from the books. If a teacher is taking time to go over material in class, it's likely something they believe is important and will cover on a test. This isn't always the case, but in my experience, it was the case most often. That said, it's also a good idea to take notes from your books. Next, your notes are often a source of valuable clues for what your formation instructor thinks most important. By taking notes in your personal life or work, you can prioritize it. Writing everything down allows you to place different ideas side by side and compare them. When priorities are unclear, note-taking can help you process it in a more tangible manner. We have all seen, and most of us have written out our own list of pros and cons. Lastly, you are not often contain information that cannot be found elsewhere. This kind of note-taking is different than the kind of notes you take in class. The purpose of rewriting your notes is to engage your brain in the way that best suits your learning style. The primary goal of note-taking in class is to capture the information completely and accurately. The goal of after-class note-taking is to reorganize, process, and store that information. Thank you.
There are 5 ways of taking notes, which is the corner method, the outlining method, mapping method, the charting method, and the sentence method. The corner method. The corner method provides a systematic format for condensing and organizing notes without laborious copying. After writing the notes in the main space, use the left-hand space to label each idea and detail with the keyword or clue. The outlining method. Dash or indented outlining is usually best, except for some science classes such as physics or maths. It is because, first, the information which is most general begins at the left with each more specific group of facts indented with space to the right. Second, the relationships between the different parts are carried out through indenting. Third, no numbers, letters, or Roman numerals are needed. Next, the mapping method. Mapping is a method that uses comprehension or concentration skills and evolve in a note-taking form which violate each fact or idea to every other fact or idea. Mapping is a graphic representation of the content of a lecture. It is a method that maximizes active participations, affords immediate knowledge as to it, understanding, and emphasize critical thinking. Next, the charting method. If the lecture format is distinct, such as chronological, you may set up your paper by dropping columns and labeling appropriate headings in the table. The sentence method. This sentence note-taking method is simply writing down each topic as a short note sentence. This method works well for fast-paced lesson where a lot information is being covered. Jotting main points helps you determine which information is important and which is not. Here is the listening skills meaning. Listening is the ability to accurately receive and interpret message in the communication process. Listening is key to all effective communication. Without the ability to listen effectively, messages are easily misunderstood.
Factors to sharpen listening skills. Firstly, you have to be fully in the moment. When someone is speaking, it is vitally important to be fully present and in the moment with them. If something else is on your mind, like a call you have to make or a text you need to answer, let them know. Do what you need to do, and when you are finished, let them know you are ready to listen. When listening, pay attention not only to the words, but the tone of the voice, facial expressions, and body language. This will give you information that will be as important as the words themselves. Secondly, put yourself in their shoes. Whether you agree with the speaker or even have an interest in what they have to say, what they are saying is important to them. Imagine yourself in their situation, wanting only to have someone listen to them. When they are speaking, make an effort to think of where they are coming from and why. Imagine what their life is like and what struggles they might be facing. People will appreciate that you made the effort to understand and really hear them. Thirdly, pick up key points and let the speaker know you did. Many people have trouble focusing on what someone is saying, especially if they speak for longer than a minute or so. It is easy for our attention to drift to something else that we might find more interesting. If that's the case, try to pick up a few key points in the conversation. After they finish talking, let them know that you heard them by mentioning the key points you heard and ask them to clarify anything you did not understand. You will be forgiven for not being able to follow the whole conversation if the person talking believes that you made an honest effort. Practice active listening. Most people are thinking of how they are going to reply when someone is talking. Instead of doing that, try to focus completely on what the person is saying. Pretend that you will be tested on how much of what they were saying you heard and understood. A good exercise to practice is to sit down with a family member or a good friend and practice simply giving feedback to them of what you heard them say. You will notice that it gets much easier to focus on their words when you aren't worrying about how you will respond. Lastly, develop curiosity, an open mind, and a desire for continuous growth. People who are naturally curious see conversations as learning opportunities. They are always looking to discover or learn something new and see everyone they talk to as having the potential to teach them something. They are not be the only or necessarily the best way and don't feel the need to always defend their own point of view or way of seeing the world. These people are continuously looking for new learning opportunities and taking on new challenges. You will recognize these people as the ones who are signing up for courses, volunteering, and trying new experiences throughout their lives. For them, listening to others becomes an easy and natural way to continue on their self-development journey. Next, I will tell you about differences between listening and hearing. Listening is active, while hearing is passive. Listening refers to the act of perceiving a sound through the ear, while hearing refers to the act of making conscious effort to perceive sound. Listening does not require a conscious effort. Meanwhile, hearing is a conscious effort. Listening is involuntary, and hearing, while on the other hand, is voluntary.
Steps on focus listening. Okay. Number 1, focus. Listen and watch for clues to identify the meaning behind words. Avoid distractions like mobile phone, computer screen, and mentality disengaging. To think about your response. Number 2, mirror. Use appropriate facial expressions that for respond emotionally. Head nodding and verbal cues like to let the speaker know you are listening and engaged. Number 3, paraphrase or provide feedback. Check for understanding and empathize. Do not say I understand. Do use phrase like what I hear you saying is, or it sounds like you, or it can be difficult, and it must be so exciting. And lastly, respond appropriately. Encourage respect and understanding with the wording you use. Add information if you had information to add. Okay. Next, how to take notes. Number 1, listen carefully to what the lecturers are saying. Number 2, take notes in outline format. Number 3, use abbreviations and skip unimportant words to take notes efficiently. And last, jot down details and examples that support the main ideas. Okay. Thank you.